Hello everybody. Welcome to the Michelle Got Gold podcast, episode number 22. On this podcast, we discuss the journey called entrepreneurship. This week, it's a check-in episode with myself, your host, Michelle, and I will let you know what's going on with my businesses. Yes, you heard that right, and if you've been listening to my podcast and my journey, you know I have two businesses. I'm a licensed customs broker. I have a small trade compliance firm where I help importers streamline their processes on how they import into the United States. And then I obtained a real estate license earlier this year, so this is brand new. I thought those two businesses go well hand in hand because both are pretty much project based, right? So there you go. But obviously, I am a full time employee still, so I'm side hustling or building a business on the side. However, you would like to call it, that's what I'm doing. And that's what this is all about, the podcast, the journey of starting your business and letting go of that full time job. And yes, that's what I'm going to talk about this week. I have mentioned before, sometimes, you can have a little burnout. You're tired. I mean, if you're working full time, you're always busy, right? Because I am getting paid to do a job during the day. That's what I have to do. And it's not a bad job at all. It's just, I don't care for it too much. Things have changed. Plus, I do not want to be a paycheck to paycheck person all my life. These are all things that we discussed, why I set my goals the way I set them, because I want more flexibility and just a better life all around, right? And an easy paycheck is nice. It's nice to have that money deposited twice a month. You don't have to worry about it. But there's a reason why I have this podcast. There's a reason why I have these goals. I want more from life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But building a business on the side, you're always posting before you go to work, following up on emails and phone calls during your breaks, planning your courses and social media out at nighttime. So you're always on the go, right? And I'm a real estate agent, so I'm showing after work and I have open houses on the weekends. So there's just a lot to do. And it's tiring. It's a good tired, but it's tiring. And I don't want to be doing this forever, these three things. I would like to eliminate one. And since this is the Michelle Got Goals podcast, and the goal is to work in my businesses full time, obviously the goal is to let my full time job go. But how does one go about that? How do you quit your job? So that's really what I've been thinking about lately. Like, Michelle, what's the date? By when do you want to be done? Like, I loosely set myself the goal of leaving my job by the end of summer. So that's in the back of my mind. Are we really going to make it the end of summer? And what has to be done? You need a little money in the bank. But as I mentioned, I'm a paycheck to paycheck type of girl. I've always been a single mom. Meanwhile, my son is grown. He just moved out. He graduated college, so all is good on that side. But it was always hard for me. I never had money in the bank, so I still don't. So obviously you need to have a little money saved up, but I don't think I'm gonna be the girl that has 6 months or a year saved up because I don't know when I will ever be able to work full time in my business if I wait to save up for 6 months. But hey, that's just what it is. I'm a single woman. So I just need to know my numbers. What do I have to bring in every month to afford my mortgage and all that goes with owning a home and just living life, right? So that's really what I've been wondering about these past weeks and what I'm working towards, just to get a clearer picture of what I need coming in, what services I can offer to make sure it comes in every month, and just connecting with the right people. But I would love your input. Anybody out here that can tell me how it has been for them quitting their job and starting their business. And that's why I have this podcast and why I love to interview my guests, because these are always guests that are already working full time in their business. So they're ahead of where I am and where I want to be. And I just find it really interesting. I find it inspiring. I'm trying to do the same for my community here. If you have goals and aspirations, no matter where you are, set those goals and go after them. So that's really what's on my mind. What is my exit strategy? What do I have to do to get all my ducks in a row? As my friend keeps telling me, at least your ducks are all in the same pond, so we're off to a good start. But what would I have to do to quit my job this year and work my business full time? That's really what's on my mind. And I would love to hear from you, especially if you're in the same boat as me. You have a side hustle, you're building a business, but you're still working full time. What are your thoughts? When do you think you're going to quit? Do you feel like you need to have 6 to 12 months money in the bank, or are you just going to go out there because you know you can bring in that money per month? What about health insurance? Obviously, most of us know about Cobra, which is your health coverage that you can continue from your employer for 18 months. I just had a coworker quit, so she let me know how much Cobra would be for me. But most self-employed that I asked, they all tell me they are insured through the marketplace, so at least there are options, so that's good to know. But again, there's the mortgage, then there's health insurance, you have a car that comes with cost. I like to eat. Sometimes I even like to go out and eat. So again, how much money does one need to quit their full-time job and dive in full-time into self-employment? That's where I am. That's what I'm pondering. I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on quitting your job? What should I keep in mind? What should I remember? And we actually have a guest next week coming up. She will talk about her journey, how she quit her job. She had a really good job, started her agency. Actually, they asked her to come back and they offered her a dream job, basically. And how she went about and reapplied for the job, went through the whole process. But at the end of the day, she said, no, I'm going to continue my agency, even if it's hard right now. That's my dream. That gives me purpose. So again, that's why I love to interview my guests, just to hear other like-minded women how they went ahead and started their own business. So again, as usual, my website is michellegotgoals.com. Instagram and YouTube is Michelle_got_goals. I would love to hear from you. Any tips you have for me, any insight about how you quit your business, how to come up with an exit strategy, it's all welcome. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.